Mike, congratulations. I bet you.
I'm really excited. Obviously, it's been 18 years since I've been a freshman on campus here, so it's great to be back, and what a great honor. So very happy.
Really, in many ways, you were the buttress, I guess, of what Coach Brendan Nash really wanted to solidify in the soccer program. You were right there with his first class as a head coach,
right,
and you kind of helped to build that program to where it is today. Do you look back and your classmates look back and say, we were kind of at the foundation of it all?
Yeah, definitely. We were talking about that earlier today. Some of even the younger guys that are here that said, your guys' class was the first big class, and they went on to win Patriot League championships. We didn't in our 4 years, but they're very grateful, and they do recognize and say, you guys laid the foundation in terms of getting the culture and the environment in place for the future, guys to continue to come in and win some championships. So.
And, when you take a look at what this program has, what it did, even during you won a regular season title, even what it did when you were here, do you look back on it with pride?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if our first year, like you said, Coach Nash brought in kind of his first group. We struggled. We were young. Every year we got a little bit better, though. And Coach Nash, he had a lot of respect and pride in what we were doing, and he started putting us up against the big boys, Maryland, Penn State, South Carolina. We were going on the road and playing some of the top programs in the country every year, beyond our freshman year. And that, again, kind of got guys the experience, and we started getting some really good results. Like you said, we won the regular season championship. We should have definitely won the championship that year, but it happens. But the future was built, over those couple years, and I think they've won 4 Patriot League championships since I left. So, and maybe that may be the most out of all the Patriot League schools since I left. So Coach Nash has done a really good job, and the program's definitely on the up, and they're doing a tremendous, job on the field.
Of course, you were a 2-time Patriot League Defensive Player of the Year. What made you such a good defensive player, you feel?
I honestly, I grew up in Baltimore, so I grew up, on the streets playing pickup, basketball, baseball, soccer, every sport you could play. So it was really just instinctual and reading the game. I grew up learning the game from my dad in the backyard and stuff where he wouldn't take it easy on me. So, the competitive part, but I got to really soak it all in. I had a love for the game. So I think really just my game intelligence was the reason that I was such a good defender, just reading the game and being able to see passes before they happen and intercept balls and obviously good 1v1 defending. But, I think my love for the game and my continued, drive to learn the game and never stop, it still doesn't today because I coach youth soccer, just understanding the game and reading the game was a big part of my success.
Did you ever, though, think, man, I wish I was a striker. I wish I could score a lot of goals.
Yeah, and that's why, it definitely outdoor soccer is it could be one goal, and when you're the guy in the back, and you got to stop everything, and maybe your team doesn't score on the day. So at times, being a defender is not the funnest job, but at the same time, I'm kind of big, so I didn't mind the physicality because that's the position where you can hit guys. So, but I went on to play indoor soccer for 10 years, so I got to score a lot of goals at the pro level. So, yeah, goal scoring is way cooler, but, I was a pretty good defender, so I'll take it. Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about that. You were drafted by Major League Soccer, MLS,
right.
And what was going through your mind when you got that call?
Yeah, it was a pretty cool time. It was in February of my senior year, and I was the first Bucknell guy for that to happen, too. So it was definitely, I had to understand how to even go through the process. I was meeting with the president and Coach Nash, and I had to go to 3 weeks of preseason camp to make the roster, and the school, and that's one thing, the school's always been unbelievable to their students. So the teachers worked with me. I went away for 3 weeks in the middle of my senior year, second semester, but I was still getting my work done while I'm, in Florida for 3 weeks trying to make a professional roster, which I did. And the coach at that time, John Ellinger, who I work for now, ironically, he's very understanding. So when I made the team, he said, because Bucknell has a very good reputation. He's like, Mike, I like you. You made the team. Go back to Bucknell and get your degree. So I didn't return to them until May after I graduated.
That is incredible. You just don't.
No, and a lot of guys that I was at preseason with, same guys, college that got drafted, they dropped out of school and didn't finish that semester, and they were chasing the dream. And I would have never did that. You know, I would have never given up my degree from here, no matter what, even if I wouldn't have been able to take a professional contract. But, you know, I'm very grateful that obviously the university worked with me to help me earn a pro contract, and also that my coach, John Ellinger at the time, you know, once I earned his respect and that roster spot, he said, go back to school. I'll see you in May. So that was pretty cool.
Very cool. And you, as you said, you played in the MLS for a couple of years, few years. Then you went to Major Indoor Soccer League.
Right.
How much fun was that?
That was a lot of fun. I mean, I grew up in Baltimore, so we used to go to those games, and this is before they had pro outdoor soccer. Indoor soccer was the thing, especially in Baltimore. I mean, they would sell out games. I remember going and being a kid in the stands, 11,000 people, you know, just screaming, people scoring goals. And as soon as I got done with outdoor soccer or cut for Major League Soccer, I immediately called actually the general manager, Kevin Healy, that day. I got released from Real Salt Lake and said, hey, Kevin, he's a very good mentor for me. And I said, I don't have a team right now. What should I do? Do you have any advice? And he said, how about I give you a 2-year contract and you come home? I said, that sounds good. So went home to Baltimore. My friends and family got to see a lot of games. Like I said, it's a lot of fun. So scoring goals. I think we won 4 championships in 8 years. A couple Defender of the Years. I got MVP my last year. So it's a very fun game. It was a very fun game, and you know, a lot of Coach Nash will come down to games because it's not that far either. So actually, I think they had a Bucknell night one night where the whole team came down to Baltimore and cheered on the team. So it was a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed that part of my career. So.
Do you think that if you wouldn't have come to Bucknell and had that experience, that you would have been able to have the experience of MLS play and MISL play?
Yeah, I mean, again, one of the younger guys today was like, how did you end up here? You know, like, because in Baltimore, not a lot of guys get out of there. They go to UMBC, they go to University of Maryland, and I just fell in love with the campus when I came here, and the people in Baltimore didn't understand because everybody was going to one of those schools, or Loyola, all great schools that I got a lot of respect for their coaching staffs and the programs that they have. But there's just something really special about this place that I also leaned on Coach Nash and said, I do have pro aspirations. So I was very clear with him with that, and he understood that was my goal. And you know, he said he had some connections, and he does. He knows plenty of people, and you know, it was important for me to go somewhere where I trusted the coach, he trusted me, and I was going to play. So I luckily, as a freshman, got to play, you know, from day one. And never missed a game over 4 years. So that's important, you know. And also, I could never give up the education side of that. So the whole student athlete package here, it's tough for anyone to compete with this.
Top of the line for sure. You mentioned you coach youth soccer now. That's obviously part of your life. What else are you doing, Mike?
So I run my own company, Dynasty Sports Academy. It's a youth, you know, athletics company. We do dance, we do soccer, lacrosse, we do movement and yoga programs. We have basketball, and it's geared towards the preschool age group. So we work with about 60 preschools around the Baltimore area, and work with about 1,500 kids every week. You know, they're obviously very young. Our goal for them is to just get them to have a passion for being active. Mm-hmm. So that's our goal for Dynasty Sports Academy. It's going really well. We go out, we have a lot of fun with the kids, we get them moving, playing different sports, and hopefully they just fall in love with being active.
Well, I know if there's anybody who would be able to do that to a kid, it's you. I'm sure you fire him up. There's no doubt, Mike.
It's a lot.
Well, I'll tell you what, congratulations. What a great accomplishment. Well deserved too, Mike.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.